I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but this industry, restaurant technology, is changing so fast. In a recent article published by QSR Magazine, Wendys has announced they are rolling out a new drive-thru design called Global Next Gen. They've already deployed the upgrade to a few locations, and by 2024, over 200 units will feature enhanced pickup points and drive-thrus, magnifying their digital order capacity, which Wendys is predicting they'll be able to handle 400 times more through their mobile app and third-party delivery. A big part of the new design is a partnership with Google Cloud to automate drive-thru ordering with generative AI. Wendys has labeled the system Fresh AI. Today, we're going to break down 5 lessons operators can learn from Wendys' big play on drive-thru technology. Let's grow. Welcome to the Restaurant Growth Show podcast, where we talk about how operators can use technology to grow their business. We've got a lot to talk about in this episode, but first, let's introduce our co-host. With more than 25 years of online marketing experience, Jose Albus has successfully founded and operated companies in software and hospitality. Lastly, who am I? My name is Gordon. I am your host. I have over 16 years in the food service industry with more than a decade in technology startups. This podcast is sponsored by Dynpricing, real-time restaurant profitability. Dynpricing uses artificial intelligence to improve profitability for restaurants by dynamically updating menus across digital channels. Jose, how are we doing today?
Finally, I'm co-host.
You made it. You've been upgraded from guest for a year to co-host, my friend.
20 episodes, just 20. I am well. I'm good, excited. Yeah. It's a good topic. It moves me quite a bit.
Yeah, there is a lot of change happening. Obviously, that is a silly statement to make because every single week we talk about these massive changes that are happening with multi-unit franchises and brands. This week, I'm going to link the article from QSR Magazine. It's really good. It features a lot of different brands that are making moves in the drive-thru space, which is changing so rapidly. This is sort of the ripple effect of COVID-19, where these QSRs really needed to adapt to pickup and online ordering, obviously. Today, we're going to focus on Wendys and their next-gen deployment of their AI, of the remote pickup spots. I have lots of questions. I really want to know more. There's not a heck of a lot online as to how these new drive-thrus are going to be recognizing drivers. Is it facial recognition like McDonald's had played around with? I'm not sure McDonald's is still doing that. Is it voice recognition? There's a whole bunch of questions that I have, but nonetheless, there's going to be some lessons to be learned in the grand scheme of things with the technology that's being rolled out here. So without further ado, let's get into the 5 lessons that restaurateurs can learn from this really big change. Number 1, anticipate change. So Wendy's rapid response to changing consumer dynamics showcases the importance of forward thinking for restaurateurs. This means staying updated with industry shifts and customer preferences. Jose, what do you have to say to operators who are shy of change, I guess you could say?
First of all, it's inevitable. Change is inevitable. Second is, whatever you see these leaders in the industry, watch closely, because there is someone that is making it available for you. I say that was the experience with Modern. Modern started actually in the same days as Panera Bread, who was being considered the pioneer in mobile ordering. And by the time the adoption became, without the pandemic, it was necessary. It was available, affordable, and extremely sophisticated for restaurateurs to have the same technology as the big brands. So my promise is that it will be available. A lot of these pieces, they're around the corner. Be very flexible and open-minded to these changes, because it's how you're going to have to remain competitive. Follow the trail, follow the leaders, and try to then jump ahead in some way so that you reap the benefits of a competitive advantage.
Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. Follow the lead of someone like Wendy's. If you can do it in a smaller fashion, in a more controlled environment, let them be the first through the wall and learn from either their mistakes or what they're doing well.
There's a message for technology companies as well. You got to make it easy. And one of the things that we do in developing technology is that we take the heavy lifting out of processes so that you can focus, or the customer, the end client focuses on make it easier for them, right? So from all this experience, all the way from onboarding, changes, and everything, you got to make it super easy, super comprehensible, and mainly visual, so that the change is smooth.
That is the underlying idea, according to this article. There's a quote in there. They're talking about making it easier for their employees so that they can concentrate more on the diner experience and the delivery experience as well. So I think the common theme here is ease of use. Again, easier said than done, because there are so many moving parts. Let's move on to number 2 here of lessons operators can learn from Wendy's big rollout of their new drive-thru technology. Number 2, leverage technology for operational efficiency. This goes pretty much directly to what we were just talking about. So Wendy's emphasizes the blend of tech and operational excellence with their global next-gen design, using technology to streamline processes from ordering to delivery can significantly enhance the dining experience. Almost took the words out of my mouth from what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I recently went to McDonald's, and I was blown away that literally by the time I turned my wheel, actually I saw the bag up in the air being held to be given to me. And I'm talking about maybe 8 feet, like literally under 2 minutes.
That's incredible. I love experiences like that. They're unfortunately a little bit too far and few between these days. I think we're getting back to really efficient customer service, pickup options like this. I think we're getting back to it, and I think the technology is going to help us get back there quickly. But you know what? That really stands out to me because I'm just really used to there being something in the way. Right? If it's not a clear order, changing up an order, if there's a problem with the payment system, like you had briefly, leveraging technology like generative AI. And again, I really want to know how, and we talked about this before the podcast, is the drive-through technology, is it going to be intuitive in that it's going to recognize your voice? Is it going to recognize your face? Is it going to recognize your car? And if so, there's a whole lot of privacy issues. I imagine that's going to unfold there. Really interesting stuff. I'm all for it, to be honest with you, because I want to have that really fast and speedy service. So I don't know. How do you feel about the level of privacy with generative AI and machine learning recognizing any of those aspects as you're going through your order process?
Well, like number one, change is happening, and I said because this one of the things that this brings to mind is that I remember one of our partners at Modern was asking a young developer if we were working on this facial recognition AI thing for IDs, and at the same time we were struggling with that. So one of my oldest business partners was asking her, I don't know, I can do that, they're getting everything, how do you feel about that? And she like, what for a few less clicks to click around, I'm game, easy, I don't have to open something. Like convenience is so in the most subtle things for the generations to come. So change is happening, people are going to be comfortable with this. There will be regulations, the operators and the technology companies are going to have to go through all sorts of hoops, that's for sure. But the technology and what it's trying to achieve will happen, I guarantee. One of my favorite parts of that article is when they start talking about their commitment around the technology. And it's that they want to, and you know that this is one of my favorite things is to talk about like the old school real life getting into technology and in and online, and their commitment to be able to do in real life what cookies and trackers and things are able to do, when used in a good way, to offer more speedy service, to offer a surprising, a remarkable customer experience. The classic, like I always say, cheers, like they know my name, they know me, and they saw me coming through, and they're treating me with my name, with my favorite thing. Do you want to order what you ordered the last time? Do you want it always enhanced with extra bacon? Like whatever it is, that personal experience is going to be so much fun, because if you order in the phone, the app, if you go to the website, and then all of that information together to give you that personalized experience that Gord only knows, wants, desires, expects, and it gets given with that intensity, that's going to be a remarkable customer experience.
Exactly. I agree 100%. The line of user experience in terms of your online experience with an app or on a website or whatever that is now being morphed into IRL, into real life. And this example of Wendy's new next gen drive-through design, again, that's the cookies, as you were saying, that's the real life cookies,
Yeah,
right? And I want to roll up to that drive-through and them respond to me. It's going to be creepy for sure, the first few times, I guess, but I want them to say, "Welcome, Gordon. Do you want the same order you got last time, or we know you liked the salad because I'm trying to eat healthy, along with your double
that's
cheeseburger, right?"
that's for the record, that's what I ordered at McDonald's.
I know you did. I know you did. I believe you 100%. But I mean, I'm all for the customized user experience online. I like the personalized ads, to be honest with you. Sometimes I end up purchasing those things or learning about new products, from Nike or Adidas. I'm a big fan of those. But for a lot of people, it's a little bit uncomfortable. But for me, and I can probably speak for you as well. Like, I'm anticipating these personalized in-person experiences. The restaurant that I go to on a regular basis should know my first name. They should know what I ordered last time. They should know my average order size and my general behavior and interaction and engagement with their restaurant. They should know these things. That would make for an amazing experience, fast food or not, right?
Agreed.
I,
Right.
I'm I, I'm over the moon. I'm really, really excited for the development of this technology.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it makes me think of a augmented reality,
Yes.
because the experience of life is going to be different. It's going to be better, more efficient, and personalized. Awesome.
Well, I mean, Zuckerberg has come out with his version of Google Glass or whatever he's calling it now. I can't remember. They just had that big product launch. So maybe we'll all have to wear, versions of the augmented reality glasses going through our drive-throughs or pickup, so they can identify with us. And actually, while we were preparing for this podcast, my girlfriend mentioned in the background, she's like, "Well, why couldn't people just have a QR code or a specialized code that could be scanned when you roll up to the drive-through?" And I think that's a good idea too. But I don't know. I think it's really come down to, do people want to fumble around in their pocket, their purse, or their wallet to find that card? If they don't find that card, they're going to be frustrated that that they can't get the personalized experience. I don't know. There's so many things to think about that I hope Wendy's is contemplating. Again, I'm excited to hear and see how that goes for them. Okay, moving on to number 3 of lessons that operators can learn about Wendy's big drive-through redesign. Number 3, capitalize on mobile and digital ordering. Again, we went through this. Wendy's dedicated pickup points for mobile orders and the prowess to handle vast digital orders exemplify the growing significance of mobile-friendly strategies in attracting today's tech-savvy consumers. And I think you touched on this earlier, Jose, with your younger employee at Modern who didn't think of it twice about this type of technology helping them in their user experience.
That's right. And again, it just made me think the one that I'm still trying to imagine that, but I can't imagine like how it can be that efficient. They said that there was going to be these robots, right, that would bring the food to the car to those stations that you mentioned. How fast? Under 2, it's already low, and you're in the commitment of under 2 minutes for a robot to come. Like maybe new generation of robots, but in my world, it's like this, right? Like so how can you, like, what are you gonna do with that speedy robot bringing the food and having it perfect? Because it's gonna be like cold compartments, hot compartments in the same, and when you open it, it's like the food is gonna be perfect.
Yeah, well, in a perfect world, yes, I think that it will be precise. But here's something that I'll maybe throw a monkey wrench into the situation is, okay, there's designated pickup spots for these robots, and apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, but in this article, I think they talked about robots being deployed underground, so underneath the restaurant, going to the drop off point, and then all.
So
was that?
yeah, and going under and then popping up on your window, like so that you just basically open and it's there. Like, just what?
Right. So here's my thing here. So what if the customer goes to the wrong spot, or they're off by a couple of feet, or is that robot gonna like punch right through the floor of their car? Right. Like, I'm concerned. I'm genuinely concerned with these robot waiters damaging people's cars.
All sorts of concerns. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope they've worked through that. Okay, let's move on to number 4 here. And this is something that restaurants and restaurant technology operators need to consider at all times. Number 4, prioritize the customer experience. Even with the integration of advanced tech like AI, Wendy's commitment remains firm. Top-notch customer service. It reminds restaurateurs that while tech can enhance the service, the heart of the hospitality industry will always be the human connection. And again, the robots are out here taking jobs. Hopefully not. There's still we need people to handle people problems. Are these automations going to completely ruin what we believe to be a really genuine, authentic dining experience, whether it's at a QSR or fine dining? Is automation going to really damage the human element?
I think that, as usual, two sides, right, of the coin, and it is up to the operators. And what I think, and I was having a conversation today about how automation, or in this era of social media consumption that skyrocketed, and the millennial Gen Zers that are growing with this, how she's struggling with some of their employees, the youngest employees. And it's funny that you mentioned this, because it is what you do with it. So if there's a struggle in their small business that has a good amount of employees, then you should treat it as more as a corporation. Start building a culture because if you're just staying there, or in this case having the use of technology just get the best out of the human element, then the results are going to be like the crazies are running the asylum. But if you have a problem and you've identified it, and you know that there's a risk of this happening, for example, then you can adapt to be able to offer so much time and focus for a personalized experience of the person that's there, that it's almost like making friends. You don't have to worry about the work so much because everything is automated, that it should become easier to do the job that every employee. And I think that in the article we talk about that commitment as well, which is so important, because the idea is that these are happy people that when they're interacting with another human being, they're bringing happiness, they're sharing. And I think that going back to my friend's business, it is what she's concerned about. How is it that, like, how do we make them so that they do interact genuinely with their heart, and in our clients when they walk in, and the clients when they drop their stuff off, on the, like, just that struggle. So again, there's an opportunity to be able to focus on that human interaction that we're losing because of technology, and not paying attention to the opportunities that come with it. And I think that I trust that that people like you and I that work on businesses and with businesses are able to see that there is some work to do in a different area. And I think that that is what the opportunity is. Yeah, maybe some jobs will transform, some jobs may be lost, but others will open, and that are going to be more and more human to human, because we're disconnecting each other's as we go. So it's, let's make the best of it.
Couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. I think that the technology is ideally going to allow for more time for front of house to give that smile and that exchange. How was your day? How are you doing? That means the world to me personally. Getting that short little exchange and engagement from someone who is serving me, taking me to my table, giving me my order, something along those lines. And how often is it, do we interact with a wait staff where they're so busy? Here you go. Here's your table. Here's your order. I got to run because I've got 10,000 things going on. We're hoping that technology is going to minimize those 10,000 things this wait staff person has to worry about, all of those repeatable tasks, right? And allow for that more personalized experience. I'm hoping that this is where this is going. I think there's going to be some bumps along the way, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, moving on. Number 5 of the 5 lessons restaurateurs can learn from Wendy's big rollout of their new drive-thru technology. Number 5, collaborate and innovate. Wendy's partnership with Google Cloud is a testament to the potential of collaborative innovation. Restaurateurs should remain open to tech partnerships and collaborations that can provide a competitive edge. Jose, I know you have a lot to say on this.
Not only that, we've talked about this in this program, but we've talked about this in the beginning of this year's show. And it is that there's an explosive growth of these chains. There's an explosive growth of technology. There's an explosive, ever-growing opportunity to collaborate, because technology does keep us closer together. I can call friends for free on WhatsApp across the world, know that they're online or not. You name it, groups that everybody can see each other. It's just, in that sense, it's like so powerful to collaborate. And it is an opportunity to, with all the way from your team to your other franchisees, to if you're just a single location, to your service providers, so that they are also a commitment of providing a better service. But it is so powerful to collaborate these days, that it's I see it across. I think that it's like as a principle to let's work to achieve things together, because together we can achieve things that have never been achieved before. Name it the world, name it the town, the region, your world, your circle, your vertical, your specialization, your cuisine, you name it. Collaboration brings an added value that didn't exist before.
Well said, sir. Well, in a nutshell, Wendy's strategy underscores a vital blueprint. In the age of digital transformation, balance technology adoption with a relentless focus on the customer. As a restaurateur, blending these elements could very well be your recipe for unparalleled success. We're out of time for this episode. I want to thank my co-host, our co-host here, Jose Albus, who's recently been upgraded from guest to co-host, which is long overdue. I know he's excited about it. That's all the time we have for this week's episode of the Restaurant Growth Show podcast. Until next week, we will see you then. Say goodbye, Jose.
Goodbye, Jose.
Thanks, everyone.